Welcome back, guys. Automotive Inquiries here. We just got done with the third brake light swap on the bulbs. This is video 2, tail lights. Okay, you can see right here it's daylight outside, but bright enough. All these incandescent bulbs are bright enough on this truck, don't get me wrong. We're doing this, well, because people requested it, and because you can do this for about $100 if you don't buy any extra bulbs, buy just enough bulbs. But I like having extra bulbs, so I bought about $150 worth of bulbs so I can swap them out. Now, I did a video of a night drive. You'll need to go see that. So I walked around the truck, showed you everything, what it looked like at pitch black, dark, in a parking lot, and all that stuff. So you'll be able to go back and do that. So I'm gonna do one side at a time and then try and pin them against each other. Again, the LEDs are so much brighter, you're gonna see them a lot brighter through here, okay? Now, each one of these taillight bulbs has a reverse lamp, has an amber turn lamp, and 2 taillight bulbs, okay? So let's talk about getting this out. So you're gonna need an 8mm ratchet. Drop the tailgate, there's a bolt here, there's a bolt here, lefty loosey, take those out, okay? Then there are 2 mounting tabs on the inside here and down here. These actually go into the bed this way. So you're gonna need to basically pull that lamp out this way, okay? Once we get that bad boy out, you can kind of see down in there. That's how we're gonna access our 3 bulbs. Again, these are the mounting tabs right here. They need to go back in, and then you're gonna bolt the taillight on. So let's go ahead and remove this one, and we'll show you what kind of bulbs we need. All right, so once we get it hanging here, I'm not gonna take the whole assembly off. I don't need to. The wire is actually not holding itself up by the wire. This has actually got a retaining tab here and some like electrical tape, whatnot, holding this up. So we're not putting undue tension on the wire itself all that much. So we're just gonna leave that. Now, to get these out easiest, just do them one by one. So squeeze that, push that in, squeeze this tab down right here, slide it off. Then from there, you'll be able to just unlock this, which usually it's like a 1/4 turn to a 1/2 turn. And just remember the orientation of when you take these off. You can reference this video, but your vehicle will be specific to yours. Now, if somebody's already done this swap, they may have all done a kind of wonky stuff in there, but usually you can tell like OEM wiring is going to be nicely dressed up and wrapped. So stand by real quick. All right, guys, back. So pulled off that top one first. As I said in my other video, all of these are going to be labels. So see that 3157K? That K means the krypton gas that's inside this bulb. Otherwise, pretty much a 3157 is a 3157, especially if the mounting tabs look like this. Now, if it has a little brass ring around it, you have an older version of a vehicle, they still make LED lights to swap those out. So just make sure you're getting the correct one according to it. And all of them are good about showing actual pictures of the bulbs, so you're good to go. Now, for this application, I've been using these. I usually use Sea Light. I've also used these Bright Shine, okay? I'll give you the link in the video to these, okay? Very inexpensive, and they're actually really nice, the way the diodes are protected and everything like that, Guaranteed 1 year. So if you bought them through, the Zon, you'll be able to cash in on that. Now, you can see right here, they make them in white, they make them in amber. I ordered white, amber, and red, because the turn signal on the back of here is in a clear bezel. But if you look in there, you can see it's amber. So I ordered amber versions of every bulb that I got. Heck, I just like truck toys. So again, we're gonna mount this in there and basically plug it back in to make sure we don't need to reverse this bulb. Okay, stand by. All right, so when I was younger, I would plug a bulb in or do whatever I did and put it all back together just to find out it didn't work or whatever needed to be tweaked. So while we have it out, we make sure this bulb is on. Once it's on, then we know, hey, we're good to go. Now, that's gonna be a couple trips up and back and forth to your cab, but Crimea River, it's not a big deal. Again, if it doesn't work, pull it out and just rechain those tabs. Now again, to get it locked back in, we're gonna have to remove this tab real quick, so stand by. All right, so again, you don't need tools to take these off, okay? These bulbs, make sure that gasket fits nice and seals nice. And we can kind of look in there and see, that bulb actually doesn't look too bad in there. I mean, sometimes you get some of these LEDs that are kind of freaking ugly, so not too bad. And then we're gonna reattach this one. We're gonna go down the row, top to bottom, bottom to top, however you wanna do it. If you wanna unplug all these bad boys together, that's fine. But I like doing it so there's never a question of mixing anything up. So stand by. So what I found out was you may have to remove the entire bezel because there's a pickle when it gets to the the turn signal and the backup light. So this one right here is not the one that they said in the book. So the cross-reference bulb I took out the bulb. Now I'm gonna have to order that one and get it in. But the interesting thing was your bliss sensor is in this. Now this will come out. However, this turn signal bulb is embedded way back up in there. So you're going to remove this, and that is going to be a 7mm. Now, you're not going to be able to get your fingers through that hole to get to this other hole, because that was a pickle. So there's two modes with that here. One, those bulbs are only on ever so often, so you could leave them in there and just call it good, and swap out your two tail light bulbs and call it good. Okay, now I'll have to get a link for this one, but this is the bulb right here. Again, this is a Sylvania bulb. That's what the SYL is, and that's just the name for it. The WT21W is going to be the bulb. So I'm going to order these, and I'm going to put the light back together currently with the LEDs that I got. But if you just want to leave these out of the scenario and just change your taillights, because those are always what's on, and these are on only when it's blinking. Those are plenty bright and like that, because there's a seal that we're going to reaffix back to the actual, just this bezel here to put back in, because that's your bliss. This is what tells you your blind spot, rear backup alert, and all that stuff. So I'm going to leave these in here for now, but I'm glad I pulled them out so I could get the numbers off them, and then we're going to reassemble this bad boy. All right, so if you're going to pull this out, if you want to wait to order your bulbs so you can do all of this at once, I want to take it out once. Like I said, I'm doing the hard part for you. I'm finding out what we need and where you can get it and how to take it apart. So again, once you're ready, pull that seal off really gently. Make sure it matches up to everything like that. And as you set this back in there like this, you're going to want to put this bezel back in this hole back here. So again, don't try and use pliers and pull that off. You're not getting in there to twist that just at the angles and stuff like that. So let's get it put back in real quick. Now again, my suggestion would be to swap out these bulbs and plug them into their applicable connector. Have somebody you trust go in and turn those lights on, and make sure we don't need to flip that LED, okay? Because taking this all back apart would be crazy. Now, once you put that gasket back in there, I'm a huge advocate for not over pushing something back in. If it doesn't go in, make sure you have it laid out right. This will go back in nice and easy and sealed just right. And you want this sealed because water can get around this. You don't want to burn up that sensor. So if you want to just forget this step, again, you can. So let's get this back together. All right, so it's all back together. Again, you have these line-up tabs right here, these little black tabs by these bolts. And if you have all the bulbs and stuff like this is probably going to take you about, with me filming, it's taking me about 15 minutes. But that being said, if you just remove the whole tail, and I would actually put a piece of towel down there so we don't scratch the taillight bezel, just in case it slips out of your hands or whatever. So let's get this mounted back in there and see how she looks. Again, I'm going to pull it out again later, but if you have all the bulbs, you can just get this all done. But again, do check them before you put them back in there. All right, so we're back. So that's the stock 3157 bulbs, and that's the LEDs, so substantially brighter. So right now we don't have the ability to swap out the blinkers, but then again, like I said, if your blinkers for some time is rapid firing before you put it away, flip it over if it still works and see if it rapid fires, like if it's blinking faster. Sometimes you might have to put one of those diodes in there that slows that pulse down, but right now this shouldn't actually change anything. Okay, so now I'm just gonna go ahead and do the other side, and then we're gonna get these other bulbs ordered. But again, you're gonna need a 4-pack of 3157s. You can see this 3156, sometimes those are just synonymous, older versions, but they're all the same. You're going to need an 8mm socket, a 7mm socket if you're going to change out the reverse and the turn. Again, this is the brand I've used, and I'm going to use white light for these because, again, the bezel's already red. Stand by. All right, so there's our third brake light that's swapped out. There is the new LED, and then the standard bulb. So they look both equally hot, but the red is just as bright. So that's off and on. You can see down here. So looking good. Again, you'll see all the part numbers that we need to get this job done, and always buy extras, so if you need to swap them out. Again, if you wanted to get yellow because it's a yellow bulb, you can buy them in every flavor, so that will do it. Again, you're talking about 10 minutes probably per light, because you do have to take that inner sensor out. So we'll see you on the next one, guys. Please do subscribe and watch, because we still have the headlights to do, and turn signals up front to do, and in the fog lamps.